Nous interrompons la programmation normale pour vous proposer un reportage spécial. Des dizaines de personnes autour de Paris présentent, sans s'y limiter, les symptômes suivants: fièvre, maux de tête, vomissements et gonflement des ganglions lymphatiques. On pense que cela est dû à une maladie qui circule dans la ville. Veuillez vous laver les mains pendant 20 secondes et rester à l'intérieur si vous êtes malade. Désinfectez toutes les surfaces et objets susceptibles de contenir des germes. Recherchez un traitement médical immédiat si vous ressentez les symptômes mentionnés précédemment. Nous revenons maintenant à la programmation régulière.
We interrupt normal programming to bring you a special news report. Tens of people around Paris are experiencing symptoms of, but are not limited to the following: fever, headaches, vomiting, and swelling of the lymph nodes. It is believed that this is caused by a disease circulating around the city. Please wash your hands for 20 seconds and stay indoors if you are ill. Sanitize any surfaces and objects that may contain germs on them. Seek immediate medical treatment if you experience the previously mentioned symptoms. We will now return to regular programming.
Dit is een noodbulletin voor de gemeente Amsterdam. Let goed op, want kan uw leven redden. Instructies zullen binnenkort worden gegeven. Blijf alsjeblieft staan.
This is an emergency bulletin for the city of Amsterdam. Please pay close attention, as it may save your life. Instructions will be given shortly. Please stand by.
Er is een variant van de builenpest ontdekt. De zeevariant, genaamd BP-omega, is resistent tegen conventionele behandelmethoden.
A new variant of the bubonic plague has been detected. This variant, named BP-omega, is resistant to conventional treatment methods.
Symptomen van BP-omega omvatten, maar zijn niet beperkt, het volgende: koorts, hoofdpijn, braken en zwelling van de lymfeklieren. Net als het origineel kan BP-omega leiden tot gangreen, meningitis en sepsis.
Symptoms of BP-omega include, but are not limited to the following: nausea, headaches, vomiting, and swelling of the lymph nodes. Like the original, BP-omega can lead to gangrene, meningitis, and sepsis.
The King has ordered everyone in southern England to quarantine for 14 days. Schools will be taught online. Grocery stores and restaurants will only accept takeout or delivery. Only go outside if you are in need of food, water, or medical assistance. If you experience any symptoms previously mentioned, dial 999 or head to the nearest hospital. We will do anything we can to help you. More updates will be given about the situation as soon as it becomes available. We will now return to regularly scheduled programming.
And now, here's a nugget of joy from Zorak.
Yes, all right. Once there was a very nice green mantis whose name was, his name is not really important. So anyways, one day while somebody was taking a nap, this mantis borrowed the Phantom Cruiser and took it for a little spin. He was making a loop around the Crab Nebula, also known as Dead Man's Curve.
This is a shelter-in-place warning for the entire state of California, released at the request of the state government. A statewide quarantine has been ordered due to cases of BP-omega rising at a rapid rate. BP-omega is a treatment-resistant strain of bubonic plague that causes similar symptoms to the original. These symptoms are, but are not limited to the following: nausea, headaches, vomiting, and swelling of the lymph nodes. Advanced symptoms are, but are not limited to the following: gangrene, meningitis, and sepsis. If you experience any of the symptoms previously mentioned symptoms, dial 911 immediately or head to the nearest hospital. We will do anything we can to help you. During this emergency, you should not go outside, unless you are in need of food, water, or medical assistance. Wear gloves, and a face mask rated N95 if you do go outside. All non-essential businesses will be shut down. Schools will continue to operate online. Grocery stores and restaurants will only accept delivery or takeout.
I'm starting to get the feeling that these lockdowns aren't working at all.
Unfortunately, you're right. Researchers from Houston have discovered that there can be asymptomatic carriers that spread the bacteria everywhere they go.
How did we not notice that earlier?
I don't know. All I do know is that we need to find a way to get BP Omega under control.
We should try to develop a vaccine for the disease. If we did it last time, then surely we can do it again.
Hoe zit het met mensen die al besmet zijn?
Momenteel doen we onderzoek naar nieuwe behandelmethoden voor resistente bacteriën. Helaas zijn we nog niet zo ver gekomen.
We also have been researching treatment methods. We also haven't made much progress. We are trying though. Currently, we have been treating patients with supportive care.
Quant à contenir le fléau lui-même, nous sommes parvenus, respectivement avec les rois de Grande-Bretagne et des Pays-Bas, à une solution drastique. Nous devons fermer les frontières avec la France, la Grande-Bretagne et les Pays-Bas.
Hopefully, your plan will work. If BP Omega becomes a pandemic, we fear that the worst-case scenario for humanity might happen.
J'espère aussi que cela fonctionnera.
All right, we will now conclude this meeting. We will have another when more events regarding the current situation happens. Stay safe.
This is an emergency broadcast sent at the request of His Majesty's government. Important instructions will be given shortly. Please stand by. Please stand by. Please stand by. Despite the quarantines, cases of BP Omega continue to rise. There are approximately 100,000 cases of the disease in England alone. To stop the spread, the government has been forced to make a drastic decision. Starting upon conclusion of this message, the borders of England will be closed indefinitely. This means no one in the United Kingdom will be able to enter or leave the country. A curfew will also be in effect from 10 p.m. to 10 a.m. daily. Martial law will also be declared to enforce the curfew. Anyone who goes outside will be arrested without questioning. Quarantine will now resume and continue indefinitely. Any guideline that were given out when quarantine was originally enacted will resume for an indefinite period of time. More information will be given out on our website. We now resume to our regularly scheduled programming.
Throw away the city lights, throw away the cars. Give me a clear night underneath all the stars. I don't want no concrete jungles, no suburbia. I just want somewhere that the blue skies are. So come with me to a place afar, where the palm trees dance and sway. So run with me. If we leave right now, we might make it in time. The sunset is fading, but the light's not gone. The ocean waves have just begun. The water is calling, the night is young. So if I lay down, will you come?
This is a civil danger warning for the city for Salt Lake City, Utah. Riots are occurring due to the government due to the closure of the borders of California, Oregon, Washington, Idaho, Montana, and Nevada, and closures for the Utah borders. Although these decisions may be extreme, they have been made to contain BP omega, which is a variant of the bubonic plague that kills 85% to 99% of its patients, even with treatment. Even if you had the bacteria and survived, you would be left with limited use of limbs, if not amputated, and severely damaged skin. If you do not wish to experience this, it is best to comply with martial law guidelines. Police forces will now be deployed to control the situation. Do not participate in the riots, as will be arrested. Lock all windows and doors. If you see anyone showing suspicious activity, report them to local authorities. This message will repeat until the situation is under control.
I'm starting to get the feeling that these lockdowns aren't working at all.
Flower's really afraid of bugs. Well, yeah. Flower thinks she's so fabulous. Like the time she asked Icy if she was beautiful. Ice Cube, don't you think I look beautiful?
Oh, no. Oh, I remember that. I am so gonna get revenge on her. I cannot believe how she thinks we will be her servants. I'm so glad you guys are my friends, though.
Alerta. Alerta. Alerta.
Alert. Alert. Alert.
Alerta. Alerta. Alerta.
Alert. Alert. Alert.
Alerta. Alerta. Alerta.
Alert. Alert. Alert.
Grandes multitudes de personas provenientes de Estados Unidos han ingresado a la ciudad de Matamoros. Es muy probable que estas personas sean portadoras de la variante extremadamente mortal de la peste bubónica llamada BP omega. La ciudad ahora quedará cerrada. Nadie puede salir de sus hogares a menos que necesite alimentos, agua o asistencia médica. Todas las personas que hayan llevado la enfermedad a la ciudad serán arrestadas y puestas en cuarentena.
Large crowds of people from the United States have entered the city of Matamoros. These people are highly likely to carry the extremely deadly variant of the bubonic plague named BP omega. The city will now be placed under lockdown. Nobody can leave their homes unless they are in need of food, water, or medical assistance. So, we have some great news. Progress on an effective medication for BP omega is 50% complete.
Oh, thank goodness. The people were starting riots out of fear that this would never be found.
We should tell the civilians about this.
This is a severe thunderstorm watch for the city for Miami, Florida. Large thunderstorms and tropical disturbances are forming in the Atlantic Ocean, near the coast of Miami. Although there is no severe weather yet, so no cation should be taken yet. Important instructions will be issued if a severe thunderstorm warning be issued.
You're listening to WBLJ, serving both the 3 Georgia and Tennessee sides of the Chattanooga area. Tonight, we currently have some breaking news, as the United States government has just announced that have an effective medication for BP omega that is over 50% complete. There is a chance that we could stop the new bubonic plague pandemic. Thank goodness this is happening, 'cause I'm sure nobody can take the quarantine anymore. In other news, martial law has been declared in the states of California, Washington, Oregon, Idaho, Montana, Nevada, and Utah due to many counties within these states collapsing into complete anarchy. Northern France, a region of Belgium named Flanders, and most of the Netherlands are experiencing similar events. I hope the news of effective medicine for BP omega can calm down the people. We will now go on commercial break. After the break, we'll be having a discussion over news of a spontaneous combustion event happening in the Chattanooga Zoo in Warner Park.
This is a severe thunderstorm warning for the city of Wilmington, Delaware. Extremely dangerous thunderstorms, tropical disturbances, and tropical depressions have begun form near the east coast of the United States. This storm is highly likely that this storm will cause damage to certain parts of the city. It is advised that you should return home if you're driving, and do not leave until the weather clears up. Do not take a shower or bath. Do not brush your teeth or use the plumbing. Do not go into any body of water. Use battery-powered electronics and machines. If your home is likely to be damaged, seek shelter in a sturdy building. This is a hurricane warning for the following counties or areas: District of Columbia, all of Delaware, and Eastern Maryland. A Category 5 hurricane named Imani will strike the previously mentioned regions imminently. Seek shelter in interior rooms without windows, such as closets, bathrooms, pantries, or hallways in the first floor of a building. Stock up on food, water, flashlights, clothing, important documents, money, and a hand-cranked or battery-powered radio with extra batteries. Why did we have to leave when the hurricane was just about to strike?
I had to finish the medicine. Even during a hurricane, there is no way I can let these people down.
Wait. We're gonna.
一种极其致命的细菌被发现正在中国各地传播。这种细菌被命名为 BP Omega， 它是现鼠疫的一种变种，对传统治疗方法免疫。BP Omega 的症状包括但不限于以下：恶心、头痛、呕吐、淋巴结肿胀、坏疽、脑膜炎和败血症。再次强调，它对传统治疗手段免疫，因此您很可能有 89% 到 90% 的死亡机会。幸存者的皮肤会严重受损，剩余肢体的使用受到限制，器官也会衰弱。
An extremely deadly bacteria has been detected spreading throughout China. This bacteria is named BP omega, which is a variant of the bubonic plague that is immune to conventional means of treatment. Symptoms of BP omega include, but are not limited to the following: nausea, headaches, vomiting, swelling of the lymph nodes, gangrene, meningitis, and sepsis. Once again, it is immune to conventional means of treatment, so, it is likely that you have a 89% to 90% chance of death. Survivors will experience severely damaged skin, limited use of remaining limbs, and weakened organs.
This is a special message created by the European Union. Please pay attention to this message, as it concerns a continental emergency. England, France, Belgium and the Netherlands have descended into anarchy, along with rioters in the quarantine zones breaching containment. The rioters are symptomatic carriers of BP omega. As they travel around Europe, a huge majority or regions will collapse. East Germany, North Italy, and North Spain will no longer be safe due to anarchists and BP omega. If you live in these areas, evacuate immediately. Refugee camps will be set up in the following cities. For Spain, Toledo, Valencia, Alicante, Murcia, Seville, Fuengirola, Marbella. For Italy, Pisa, Florence, Bologna, Padua, Venice, Pescara, Rome. For Germany, Munich, Regensburg, Nuremberg, Dresden, Leipzig, Magdeburg, Potsdam, Berlin, Rostock, Stralsund. Bring food, water, flashlights, clothing, important documents, money, and a hand-cranked or battery-powered radio with extra batteries with you on your journey to the refugee camps. If you see someone showing suspicious activity, report them to local authorities. If you see a riot occurring, do not participate in it, as you will be arrested. Turn around and travel the other direction. You can also seek shelter. If you do, lock all doors and windows until the situation is under control.
In a few short moments, the New England Provisional Government will relay a message over the emergency alert system. Please stand by. Please stand by. Please stand by. The states of Maine and Rhode Island are at extreme risk of invasion of a faction that has yet to be identified. Although no action is to be taken yet, you should still prepare an emergency kit for when the provisional government issues an attack warning. This kit should contain food, water, flashlights, clothing, important documents, money, and a hand-cranked or battery-powered radio with extra batteries. After the conclusion of this message, more news, information, and possible updates will be given on the situation on news television channels and radio stations. This channel will now return to regular programming.
government type is civil. An unknown faction from the United States is currently in the process of invading southern Ontario. Everyone who lives in the area must evacuate immediately.
Le type d'événement est civil. Une faction inconnue des États-Unis est actuellement en train d'envahir le sud de l'Ontario. Tous ceux qui vivent dans la zone doivent évacuer immédiatement.
Bring food, water, flashlights, clothing, important documents, money, and a hand-cranked or battery-powered radio with extra batteries with you. To alert authorities that you have evacuated, tie a white cloth to your mailbox or doorstep.
Apportez de la nourriture, de l'eau, des lampes de poche, des vêtements, des documents importants et une radio à manivelle ou alimentée par pile avec des piles supplémentaires. Pour alerter les autorités que vous avez évacuées, attachez un tissu blanc à votre boîte aux lettres ou au seuil de votre porte.
This is the New World Confederacy. Our goal is to turn this planet into the perfect society through any means necessary. After all, the end justifies the means. Our victory is inevitable. Resistance is futile. Do not resist. Surrender now, and you will be spared.
Toto je upozornění pro město Ostrava. Město je v současné době pod útokem frakce známé jako Konfederace Nového světa. Navzdory vychvalování utopické společnosti způsobili v mnoha částech Evropy zkázu, bolest a utrpení. Nepřipojujte se k nim, použijte jakékoliv prostředky nezbytné k ochraně vás a vašeho regionu.
This is an alert for the city of Ostrava. The city is currently under attack from a faction known as the New World Confederation. Despite touting a utopian society, they have caused destruction, pain, and suffering for many parts of Europe. Do not join them. Use a means to protect you, yourself, and your region.
This is a special message created by the European Union. Please pay attention to this message, as it concerns a continental emergency.
Do not join them.
In an attempt at cooperation and unity, along with winning the war between us and the New World Confederacy, all members have unanimously decided to merge into a single country, named the European Federation. All laws for each country merging with the European Federation will still be enforced. The euro will be the official currency, with all other currency systems being liquidated. You can turn the money you have in exchange for euros if your country does not use euros. Due to concerns of BP Omega, nobody but essential workers will be able to leave their house except if they are in need of food, water, medical assistance, or if an evacuation order is issued. If you experience nausea, headaches, vomiting, and swelling of the lymph nodes, go to the nearest hospital. Depending on the region, people with ages from 18 to 21 will be drafted into the European military. Personnel that joined before the merge will be merged with the European military. We need all the help we can get to stop the New World Confederacy.
European Federation has launched a naval attack on base Delta 29. Launching counterattack. Launching missile strikes. Air raid against base Delta 29 is imminent. Enter the air raid shelter now. Enter the air raid shelter now. Enter the air raid shelter now. Air raid against base Delta 29 is imminent. Enter the air raid shelter now. Enter the air raid shelter now. Enter the air raid shelter now. Air raid against base Delta 29 is imminent. Enter the air raid shelter now. Enter the air raid shelter now. Enter the air raid shelter now. Air raid against base Delta 29 is imminent. Enter the air raid shelter now. Enter the air raid shelter now. Enter the air raid shelter now. Air raid against base Delta 29 is imminent. Enter the air raid shelter now. Enter the air raid shelter now. Enter the air raid shelter now.
Please stand by for a message from the New World Confederacy. Please stand by for a message from the New World Confederacy. Please stand by for a message from the New World Confederacy. A cure for BP Omega has been found. In 15 minutes, it will be dispersed into the atmosphere. A map of targets has been shown on the screen. Healthy individual should grab enough food and water to last 14 days, and a hand-cranked or battery-powered radio with extra batteries. Seek shelter in a basement, or the centermost room in the first floor of a building. Do not let anyone who is sick in your shelter. Do not leave your shelter for 14 days. Thus message will repeat until the dispersal is over.
これは国家非常事態だ。新世界連合は中国に致死化学物質を散布し、朝鮮半島と日本海に急速に拡散している。これらの化学物質は、触れた人を10分以内に死亡させる可能性があります。 食料、水、及び予備の電池を備えた手回しラジオまたは電池式ラジオを備蓄してください。すぐに換気を止めてください。14日間は外に出ないでください。このメッセージは化学物質が日本に届くまで繰り返されます。
This is a national emergency. The New World Confederation has dispersed lethal chemicals in China, which are rapidly spreading across the Korean peninsula and the Sea of Japan. These chemicals can kill anyone who touches it in less than 10 minutes. Stock up on food, water, and a hand-cranked or battery-powered radio with extra batteries. Turn off ventilation immediately. Do not go outdoors for 14 days. This message will repeat until the chemicals reach Japan.
This is a special message created by the European Union. Please pay attention to this message, as it concerns a continental emergency. The New World Confederacy had conducted a chemical attack on the European Federation. We are led to believe that this is the cure to BP Omega, but can kill any person exposed to it in less than 10 minutes. Seek shelter now. Seek a place of safety now. Do not go outside for the next 14 days. Stock up on enough food and water to last the previously mentioned period of time. Turn off all ventilation systems. Lock all doors and windows. Prepare a hand-cranked or battery-powered radio with extra batteries. The actions of the New World Confederacy is likely to cause mass devastation to the world. Such actions will not be tolerated. The European Federation will now conduct a nuclear strike to stop the tyranny, the suffering, and the war once and for all.
Our plan of world domination has backfired. The European Federation has launched a nuclear strike against us. Launching counter-strike. A nuclear strike is imminent. Enter the fallout shelters immediately. Enter the fallout shelters immediately. Enter the fallout shelters immediately. A nuclear strike is imminent. Enter the fallout shelters immediately. Enter the fallout shelters immediately. Enter the fallout shelters immediately. A nuclear strike is imminent. Enter the fallout shelters immediately. Enter the fallout shelters immediately. Enter the fallout shelters immediately. A nuclear strike is imminent. Enter the fallout shelters immediately. Enter the fallout shelters immediately. Enter the fallout shelters immediately. A nuclear strike is imminent. Enter the fallout shelters immediately. Enter the fallout shelters immediately. Enter the fallout shelters immediately.
We are announcing the re-establishment of the United States of America. The New World Confederacy has been defeated, and researchers of regional provisional governments have discovered an effective treatment method for BP Omega. All rights and amendments established by the U.S. Constitution will continue to be in effect. All laws established by the pre-pandemic government will continue to be in effect. Throughout our history, we have persevered through every tragedy that came our way. And we will continue to persevere through any tragedies that come our way. This very broadcast proves our might. We are one nation under God.